Down to the New York Stock Exchange. Jim Cramer joins us now. We haven't talked about this at all on the show today, Jim, but you mentioned something about Unilever and what they mentioned about increasing input costs. And is it worrisome?
Yeah. I think it is. I mean, you'll speak to Procter. I think Procter's better at sourcing than Unilever, but it really made it feel like even though you had that great organic of 5, the margins are under a lot of pressure. And we saw that with PPG, too. I don't want to get into a scenario where the overwhelming nature of this kind of call is the raw costs rather than how well they're doing. You know, shampoo, a lot of surfactants, plastic bottles. You saw Dow do pretty well. So I guess what happens is that we have to be careful on these consumer product stories. We know that their yield's good. We kind of get lulled into the idea that dividend protects us. Coca-Cola and PepsiCo were good. But this is worrisome for the Clorox, for the Procters, for the Colgates.
What about for the T word, the transitory word? This doesn't necessarily mean it's not transitory, does it, Jim?
No, it doesn't. Look, it could be self-curing, too. And I think that, look, transitory, maybe it's Chipotle where you have to raise prices 3 to 4% and then things settle down. I'm still going with Jay Powell. I do think, by the way, that those jobless numbers must be affected. I don't think people want to go back to work because of the Delta variant, and that could slow things down so that you could just have Powell can get out of the woods just because the economy slows down. Maybe that's what was going on with the interest rates. But I'm not worried. I still think it's transitory. I think it's going to happen, and then it's going to go back down. There's going to be some demand destruction, and I think we're going to come out fine, Joe.
You mentioned the pep rally yesterday, the crypto pep rally.
Yes.
Is it? Lately, we've seen the positive news gets baked in pretty quickly, and then it seems like it gets back in sort of a negative frame of mind. I don't know whether it's changed this time. It's above 32,000, at least as far as Bitcoin. You're an Ethereum guy now, too?
I'm Ethereum. I'm with my friend Elon Musk. I think that when Becky read that Steve Jobs note, the interesting thing is that you have to buy that kind of things with Ethereum. If this non-fungible token makes a comeback because billionaires talk about it, then, hey, you buy Ethereum. You don't buy Bitcoin. Buy Ethereum.
Okay. How about we had AT&T, and you have been outspoken about it in recent months, but the numbers looked pretty good. But it's it's not media anymore. It's back to telecom.
They did. Postpaid was good. There's no doubt about it. Postpaid was good. I still am trying to figure out if it was so good, why did they cut the dividend? If it was so good, why did they they still have a stake in HBO, but those HBO numbers were fantastic. I think they should have, from those numbers today, they should have kept it together. I don't know. I still think that they're a very confused company.
Do you think at this point that there is potential for AT&T shareholders in the what they have with the Discovery play now?
I think that Discovery is going to be very good. And so I think there's that potential. But at the same time, the people who own AT&T, they're not in for that. They were in it because it was better than Treasuries. And now you've got risk. Also, by the way, Verizon had upside. And what happened with that stock? It did nothing. It's a long day. And I don't think that postpaid being so good is going to look so good versus T-Mobile, which is still the way to go. Look at Verizon. That was a sound and fury, much ado about nothing. So I think these better than expected just don't cut it. People want real growth, and I don't think AT&T has it.
You think? Are you in the running for a consultant to Texas Instruments on how to present their report? Was it? What'd you say?
That was one of the worst conference calls I've ever heard. I mean, it was a dead horse that was beaten repeatedly. I mean, honestly, it was like they should have shot that thing. There was Texas Instruments, I don't think you could be more downbeat than they were. I mean, every analyst tried to get them to say something positive. They were just unrelenting in not doing that. Hey, why don't you take my stock down? I was surprised they didn't say that. Listen, we're going to talk our stock down, and we're not going to tell you anything good, and we'll talk to you next quarter.
Yeah. Hey, the futures have turned slightly negative on the Dow and the S&P. What is that? Rick was surprised that we didn't see the claims go down. So that throws
I'm worried.
That brings up Delta.
I'm worried about Delta. I think you either get this thing, Joe, You get it or you get vaccinated.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.